It is 2 in the morning. Your phone is on your chest. On it is more entertainment than every human born before 1900 could have watched in 100 lifetimes. 47 apps, 10,000 films, a podcast about every subject that has ever existed. And you are bored. So here is a question nobody asks. Not what the Romans did when they were bored. Not the Egyptians 300,000 years ago. No writing, no cities. No word for Tuesday. Just a person sitting down with an afternoon and nothing in it. The first assumption to throw out is that they were too busy. In 1966, at a conference in Chicago, Marshall Sahlins presented an argument that annoyed almost everyone. Working from Richard Lee's fieldwork with foragers in the Kalahari, he said they worked roughly 15 to 20 hours a week. Not per day, per week. He called them the original affluent society. Not rich in things, rich in time. Hold that number loosely, we come back to it. The second assumption is worse. We think boredom is emptiness. It is not. To be bored, you have to know that this moment is going badly. You have to be able to picture an afternoon that is not this one. Boredom is imagination showing up early, before there is anything for it to do. A dog waiting by a door is not bored. It is a dog by a door. So what did they do? Start on the southern coast of South Africa, in a cave called Blombos, in layers dated to about 75,000 years ago. Archaeologists recovered 41 shell beads. The shells are estuary snails, tick shells, each about the size of a fingernail. They do not live at the cave. Somebody walked to the water and collected them, then sorted them by size, then pierced everyone from the inside with a bone point, through the same spot on each shell, then rubbed them with red ochre. That is hours, possibly days, with a stone tool by daylight, for a thing that feeds nobody. Nobody needed a necklace. The oldest surviving decision, a human made about how to look, was made by somebody with a free afternoon and no plan for it. Now the Swabian Alb, southern Germany, 2008. Nicholas Kennard's team pulls 12 fragments of bone out of a cave floor at Hoel Fels and fits them together. It is a flute, 22 centimeters, carved from the wing bone of a griffin vulture. 5 finger holes, 2 V-shaped notches, cut into one end for the mouth. At least 35,000 years old, possibly 40. And here is the part that should bother you. It works. Build a replica and it plays. It has intervals, it has a scale, which means it was not the first one. You do not get finger spacing right on your first try. Somewhere behind that flute are dozens of worse flutes, made by people with nothing else on. Music is what a brain does with a bird bone and a slow week. The third thing they did leaves no object at all. They talked. In 1997, Robin Dunbar and 2 colleagues did something faintly rude. They sat in cafes and bars, listened to 45 real conversations, and sampled the topic every 30 seconds. Roughly 65% of speaking time was about other people. Under 5% was actually unkind. Mostly it was just who did what and who is with whom. Dunbar's argument is that this is grooming. Other primates bond by picking through each other's fur. It works and it is expensive. 1 animal at a time, both hands occupied. Talking is grooming you can do to 6 people at once, in the dark, while your hands are busy. So language may not have started as instructions for a hunt. It may have started as small talk that got out of hand. Now the part where I take some of this back. That 15-hour week is the softest number in this film. Lee counted time spent getting food. He did not count preparing it. Add cracking, pounding, roasting, tool repair, and firewood. And later estimates land near 44 hours a week for men and 40 for women. That is a full-time job. In 1981, Hawkes and O'Connell found Australian foragers in a near-identical habitat, working several times harder than the Kalahari figures suggested. And the empty afternoon was not calm. It was hungry. It did not know whether the hunt was coming back. The original affluent society had leisure. It did not have a weekend. Which brings us to the polystyrene cup. Sandy Mann and Rebecca Cadman gave people 15 minutes of copying numbers out of a telephone directory, then asked them to list uses for a plastic cup. The board group listed more. Daydreaming was the thing in between. There is a network in your brain that switches on when nothing is asking anything of you. Marcus Rachel named it in 2001, the default mode network. Be careful with it. It is not a creativity organ. Point a current at it and originality drops. Left running on yourself too long, it is called rumination. And it is miserable. It is simply the thing that runs when nothing else is. For 300,000 years, it had the afternoons, the bead, the flute, the first story about somebody who was not in the room. Then, around 2010, we gave it the phone. It is 2 in the morning. Your phone is on your chest. Nothing is being made.